Oh, there he was, partying to the break of dawn on Lark Street in Albany. My God, Eric Adams with a tin cup in his hand. Eric Adams with a plan, finally, to get a pardon from Donald Trump. And he was begging for $1 billion for all the illegal aliens he welcomed in. And state legislature said, hey, I thought you were closing down migrant centers. Why do you need an extra $1 billion? Hochul said no. He said, I need it. He's building a new center, believe it or not, right off the Bruckner Boulevard. And it's going to cost millions and millions of dollars for single able-bodied young men of military age with nothing to go, nowhere to go, dumping them in the Bronx. It was Republican County Leader Mike Rendino who tipped me off to that, and I am on it right now, on it. And we're doing the deep dive. But, boy, you got to listen to Sid in the morning, all 4 hours, from 6 to 10. I mean, not only is there drama, not only is there a soap opera effect, not only is there a lot of super sports spectacular information, and some of the best interviews he had on. The first interview that Eric Trump has had since his father was elected president of the United States again. Sid loves Eric Trump. He loves him better than Trump Jr. Tonight he dislikes Trump Jr. He dislikes Eric bad, likes Lara, thinks Eric's wife Lara will become the next Trump to become president of the United States. I concur. So they really have a lot of respect for one another. But it did not stop Sid from challenging him on this propaganda campaign that the Trumps have engaged in to sanctify and absolve Eric Adams, the swagger man, of his corruption that is at the core of the 5-point indictment that he was hit with months ago. Listen to Sid challenge Eric Trump on that.
I know that when Adams, the mayor, went to visit you guys at Mar-a-Lago, you were at that table. As far as I know, it was you, your dad, Stevie Witkoff, I believe it was Frank Carone and you. That was the table. And I can understand the sympathy, the empathy, the DOJ stuff. Eric, I get all that, okay? And I think that he has been targeted. But, and I want you to tell your father this, okay? I know how much you guys love New York. You love New York. Your father loves New York. None of that matters when we're talking about the job that Eric Adams has done as mayor. So there's a lot of New Yorkers who are really angry what's happened to this city. And as much as they love your father like I do, they don't appreciate the lifeline he's throwing to Mayor Eric Adams. What about that?
Brilliant question. He's asked that of Eric Trump's wife, Lara, before, and she's addressed it with the same party line. It's the Trump party line. Oh, he's a victim of lawfare like Donald Trump himself is a victim of lawfare. And Eric Trump got into that head. You know, it's pre-choreographed. They all say the same thing. Poor Eric Adams, like my father, a victim of lawfare.
What I will tell you is when you see, a person getting upgraded on Turkish Airlines and all of a sudden, they get landed with 40 indictments, and I don't know a whole lot about that case. It smells awfully bad, especially when he comes out and says, hey, the immigration problem is absolutely killing New York, and the Democrats in Washington, D.C. are failing on this issue. He was right. He was right, and I give the guy credit, right? At least he had the guts to say it. He had the guts to say what everybody knew, but no Democrat was willing to say. You didn't have AOC going out and saying that the Democrats are destroying New York City as a Democrat. My point is he started calling out the administration and started doing so viciously when the true magnitude of the problem started being felt in New York. And I'm telling you, I didn't see a single other politician in New York doing that. And so, listen, sometimes you need to give a little credit where credit's due. Yeah. And truly, I truly believe that they indicted him over this crap. Like no one believes that they're indicting somebody over getting an upgraded ticket on Turkish Airways. And I know there's more to that case and everything else, but stop. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a flight that I've been on where I didn't get some kind of upgrade if there was an available free seat and you had a fan that happened to be a flight attendant.
I know there's more to that case. Of course they know there's more to that case. So does President Donald Trump. And they've given Eric Adams, swagger man with now only one plan to get a pardon, an exemption. And Sid was relentless. He wouldn't let Eric Trump just leave spewing that propaganda line about Eric Adams.
All I have to say is de Blasio was an absolute mess.
True.
He was, and this guy just never got in the way. He never tried to throw our company out of New York. He was always supportive of everything that we did, and I can appreciate that. And I can also appreciate somebody that had the guts to go against the Washington, D.C. machine. Hey, maybe it was late. Maybe he came to that realization when he really saw the cracks start to form in New York.
Yeah.
But at least he was vocal at that point, and I can give somebody some credit for that.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then Sid Rosenberg had to remind Eric Trump, who knows this but doesn't want to remember it, what Eric Adams used to say the first 2 years when he was the Biden of Brooklyn.
Trump Republicans created this mess, and we need to fix this mess with real immigration reform.
So I know that you listen in the White House. I know you have a listening room, especially to WABC, which has been an outlet for so much of what Donald Trump was when he was running for president, and obviously in the first weeks of his presidency where things are moving at a furious pace. They listen. I want you to listen again because Sid pointed this out to Eric Trump when Eric Adams was the Biden of Brooklyn and vilifying President Donald Trump for having created the migrant disaster.
Trump Republicans created this mess, and we need to fix this mess with real immigration reform.
And now that Eric Adams has done the pivot and shift in order to avoid going to jail, all Donald Trump has to do is say, hey, Eric, come here a second. I want you to jump. And Eric Adams says, yes, boss. How high? Anything for a pardon. That's the real deal.